right over here. I have one or two trips left, but doing okay as far as bringing the stones in from the outside. I might call this part Gunk. Homer Cocktail 076. I have a blotch series, blotch 1, blotch 2, blotch 3, etc. Thinking about combining this with some extra footage I have from different events and whatever else I have on files inside, and getting it all together and just releasing it as Gunk 1, Gunk 2. I didn't want to do that at this site for some reason, but I'm in the mood for jabbering today, and why not do it? Anyway, but I want to talk about, so some of the things that have gone on in my life and all, and, it's Homer Cocktail 4, it's a chat side, and want to put this Homer Cocktail persona, figure that I'm going to be a guitar personality a couple of years ago on YouTube. I'd known about YouTube for about a year. I'd already been around for a couple years before that. I figured, would I use my actual name? No one else does. Not a lot of people. Well, some people are a little more comfortable than others. And for whatever reason, this seemed right, because it seemed fun, But I want to talk about American Online. The first CD-ROM I ever seen, I think, was in '93. I used to have a Commodore 64 during the '80s, and technology went a little quicker than I expected it would for some reason, as far as the common person. And with America Online came a crazy awareness of what everybody was doing in their spare time, as far as hobbies, and are you going to college, are you dating this person, whatever it was. There's a strange paranoia, almost, I would say, that's developed. The first time I remember the word email was during when I was checking out Pitzer, actually, one of the Claremont colleges to go to, and one of the students was giving a speech, and his dad said, you better learn how to use email, and I was like, what's email? I don't know what email is. But CompuServe was around then, and Prodigy, and I knew you could talk to each other through phone modems, even as far back as the Commodore 64. But the term email, wasn't necessarily with me, and I used this in the most recent book I wrote, Annihilation. Anyhow, there's a scary thing though, because where were you when Kennedy was shot? This is what a lot of people were asked the generation before me. They said mostly everyone knew where they were when Kennedy was shot, when the first man landed on the moon. Some people when the Beatles broke up. I don't know. But there's in my life, maybe a Challenger, when Princess Diana died, and obviously the Twin Towers and the 9/11 thing. Most people know where they were when they found out, what they were doing and all that. But the scary thing was going on when this American Online came in everyone's living rooms almost overnight, it felt like. And it was almost like being a typecast or stereotype. Pigeonhole would be the worst, case scenarios if you're doing something you're really not comfortable doing. And I was going to the Claremont colleges, but I was staying over here. I was staying, on land that it's in the family and the trust. There was a trailer out there before this thing was here, and I didn't mind, but I tell you the truth, if I knew the internet was coming, And if I knew there was going to be heinous and bizarre rumors, lies, exaggerations, I might have aimed for something different, you know, because some people, you know, the show Cops, it just seems like there's always some down and out guy in a slingshot shirt or, you know, topless or whatever, in a trailer, always in a trailer, getting arrested. It seems, I'm not a fan of the show so much. I mean, I haven't watched a whole episode all the way through, I don't think, in my life. But that seems to be a stereotype that, you know, you hear about. But I was going to Claremont Colleges and was working in the warehouse and pulling my weight. You know, I thought so. And guitar was a hobby. Guitar was a hobby at that time for me. And something just told me on the inside. I used to support one of my buddies who was in a band, play guitar, and used to play, you know, all up Roxy and Whiskey and Club 369 in Orange County. His band opened up for Keanu Reeves' band Dogstar. Then he got kicked out of the band, and you know, matter of time, you know, everyone goes their own ways and all. But there was this little fire, you know, like to prematurely present myself, you know, in the, you know, ranks of guitar or whatever, because of, you know, this, I want to call it, it's like a cyber paranoia almost, where you know, you hear about this, you hear about that, and one of my buddy John retracted something that he told me. He came in here, it was 98. I think I was about to go to Venezuela, and he told me, he goes, everyone, and he pointed, because everyone in the whole neighborhood knows who you are and what you do. I'm like, what? And then about a year or two later, you know, I asked him, you know, hey, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, you know? But, yeah, the way I compare it was kind of like satellite television when that first came out. The Queen commissioned the Beatles, and the Rolling Stones played with them, and they played with a group of people. All You Need Is Love is the first international broadcast for a song. And, you know, it was almost one of those instances, though, like, where were you when Challenger blew up and all? It's almost like, you know, what is that, Simon Says, or Freeze Tag, or, what's, yeah, I think it's Simon Says, where, you know, you tell everyone, Simon Says freeze, you know, and everyone's supposed to freeze, right? And what are you doing at that moment? You know, it's like, you know, people, like, here's a pose, right? You know, they're like on one foot and they're frozen running or whatever they're doing. But it's called immortalized, and it's a overstatement. But you become immortalized, maybe being a scum or something. And I wrote about this maybe in Title, one of my early books, about you could have been a great guy during the 80s and early 90s. And right when the AOL came out, you could have just had that rough time in your life. It's happened to more than one person that I know of, where, hey man, your whole life's been good, but right when people's web pages are going up and when pictures and videos are being distributed, for some reason, you're a dickhead, you know? It's like, hey man, you're a dickhead, you're a slouch, you don't have anything together. And the opposite was seen to happen too, where there were people in my life that were slackers or belligerent or delinquent or whatever. And all of a sudden, what's going on with them? You know, they have, you know, they get savvy and they learn how to use a webcam. You know, they learn how to share files. I gotta go because this is 10 minutes. But yeah, I'm not sure what I'll call this piece, but it has something to do with cyber ideas or whatever. And you know, I'm Gunk. Maybe it's one of the Gunks. But I'll finish my errands right now. You have a good time. Bye now.